it recording?
Huh?
Why are you making it recording?
It'll be posted on the internet.
Yeah.
Posted like on YouTube kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of thing. It's not for a news. Here, look at this.
Okay. And what are you going to be saying?
Yeah.
The what?
What are you going to be saying?
Well, it's all about this. There's a filmmaker though he says he's actually a rebel fighter. He's been to Libya, fought there, was arrested and put in prison. And then, yeah. And then later on, he got out because Gaddafi was overthrown. And he went to Syria, and he's doing a similar thing, but now he claims to be the propagandist for the Free Syrian Army. And the Free Syrian Army, unfortunately, though maybe it was a good movement to start with, it's been basically almost taken over by Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations. And there's Armenians there. We're Armenian Muslims. And there's a lot of casualties and losses by the Free Syrian Army towards the Armenians there. They burned churches. Just the other day, they took an Armenian cross off a church and put up the Al-Qaeda flag and things of that nature.
No, not by the Syrian army. You said
not
by...
No, I didn't say by the Syrian army. It's by the Free Syrian
Free Syrian army.
Okay, sorry. That happened a couple days ago. I'm not sure what the Al-Qaeda. What does the Al-Qaeda flag look like? I'm not sure, but I guess if we looked up the video. So
Maybe flag.
Yeah, apparently they do. So. Anyway.
So this guy's getting an award.
He's getting the silver. What is it? The Silver Men's Award.
For what?
For being a journalist and for his film. Maybe his film, which is a propaganda piece, is very lopsided. And if he had kind of balanced it out, I don't think it would get hurt this. But even the Syrians who supported him yesterday and saw him speak during the Q&A, they're not here today because what he said was, I don't have a problem with Al-Qaeda as long as they're shooting in the direction of the Assad regime.
Here's the Al-Qaeda flag being put on a church. It's a video. Now we will show the church.
التي ترتكبها داعش في المنطقة التي سيطرت عليها في شمال سوريا وسط استنكار من أهالي تلك المناطق.
Here it is. The cross thrown away and the black flag being taken out.
Is that a black flag with a sword on it?
Yes.
It's kind of like a pirate's flag.
Terrorist flag.
A black flag with a sword on it.
Yes.
And they've been beheading people. A priest was beheaded by them, an Armenian priest.
And they're chanting Allahu Akbar. That's a message to all Christians they will kill.
How do we know it's really being done by them?
It is being done by them.
How do we know who's funding them and it's actually behind it?
Turkey and Saudi Arabia.
And why do they want that?
Because Turkey wants to create Ottoman Empire, Islamic Sharia state.
But the people in Saudi Arabia don't seem to be extraordinarily, in all ways, happy with their own government. So why would they want to?
The government wants to support that, not the people.
I see.
And they have been letting out life sentence prisoners, sending them to front lines for jihad.
To fight?
Yes.
And they believe they're fighting against, or Saudi Arabia believes they're fighting against Syria. Why?
They believe they're fighting against infidels who don't believe in God.
I've never known a Muslim to think that Christians don't believe in God.
Well,
are you sure that's the reason they're fighting?
Muslims do believe, they think we believe in the wrong God, false God.
I don't think that's correct.
Well, that is very correct. I can prove you by their arguments.
So you think that Muslims believe that you...
Not all Muslims. Those that are killing, they believe that.
But maybe they're doing that for political purposes and not religious purposes whatsoever.
There is maybe in every question, but the fact remains, they're coming and killing people in the name of Allah. And when they're beheading priests, they're chanting Allahu Akbar all the time. and when they're killing a soldier, they're chanting the same. What does that does that tell you? It's a political reason, or all the fatwas that have been written by the imams lately? What we talk about that?
Well, that's a multiple question. The first part of it, just because someone's chanting Allahu Akbar, doesn't even necessarily mean that those people doing beheadings and killing
Well,
are
they're doing it while they're beheading. That's what I'm saying. We have thousands of videos.
I hear what you're saying, but here's a viewpoint. It may be an incorrect viewpoint, but I like to look at all possibilities.
How long
And
have you been looking at it for?
A lifetime.
No, this issue.
This issue, I think, a very long time, even before there was unrest recently in Syria. Because I think that behind so many situations that we think are religiously motivated, they are really, really motivated by politics, and politics that's being
I would agree
controlled
with you,
by
yes.
corporate interests.
They use the religion. I agree with you, yes.
Okay,
I'm
so
not disagreeing
maybe
with
this
you.
is not in any way Islamists who think that you're praying to the wrong God. Maybe this is simply the work of the mega capitalists, the super capitalists, the ultra capitalists who want to gain something and want to have control and input in a government that maybe is not allowing it to have that control and input. Maybe Syria is not catering to the super capitalists who want something from Syria.
You could be correct.
Okay.
I don't disagree
Are they
with that.
not capable of hiring people who would chant anything? They would chant they're doing it on behalf of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck if they were paid enough money to do it, right?
Okay.
So maybe it has nothing to do with Islam. Maybe it just has to do with interference of those who wish to create havoc, chaos, imbalance, unrest, instability, a broken
When
economy.
you finish, I will explain.
Okay?
There are moderate Islams, Sunni or Shia. Nobody condemns them. Nobody can even speak against them. But when you come to extremists like Salafists, Wahhabists, their purpose is, in the name of their God, which is not even a Sunni God, to kill people. And I can provide a bunch of facts on that. We're not talking about Islam, we're talking about factions of Islam. And just like factions of Christianity harms people, factions of Islam harms people. And even though what you're saying can be very true about mega capitalists, mega imperialists, whatsoever, but they're using the minds of those people in their game.
The minds of people are so ultra easy to manipulate, though. I mean,
You're
it happens in every country non-stop, all the time, even right here in America.
Yes?
And we're always being victimized by that kind of manipulation. However, maybe it's detrimental to jump to conclusions that certain religions are against other certain religions. Maybe it's not a religious war in any way.
It is not a religious
Maybe
war.
there's just
Nobody said
a
it's a religious
few,
war.
perhaps even misguided people claiming to be leaders of religious groups, claiming to be right, claiming that their religion is better than someone else's religion. Don't we live in a world where every religion is pretending that they're better than every other religion?
Okay.
So how are they any different? Hitler was a Christian. How many people did he kill? You
I don't know. I don't know the count.
Pretty intense.
Atatürk was a
Pretty
Muslim. How
intense.
many people did he?
Far too many.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we are
Stalin was a
Christian.
Bolshevik, not even Christian. I don't call him Christian. He was a Bolshevik. How many people
Actually,
did
I
he?
believe
He was a
Stalin
socialist.
even
Or Lenin.
was going to be, I think he was an altar boy. I mean, pretty
Okay.
sure he was a Christian.
Let's talk about Lenin then. What was Lenin?
Lenin was Vladimir Lenin. That wasn't even his real name, by the way.
He was
I think
Jewish,
was
correct?
I don't believe that he was Jewish.
He was.
You know,
There
I
are
think that,
quite a
I
few
think
facts on
there's-
that.
I think
Or
there's-
Trotsky, he was a Jewish. Are we going to play this religion kill this? We're not even talking about that. This black flag represents their cause, and on the black flag it specifically says La ilaha illallah. There is no God but
Oh, I
their
didn't
God.
see that. I only
That's
saw
what it
the-
specifically says.
I
So
only
they're
saw
taking
the-
the cross out, and then they're putting their Islamic flag. What do you want us to say? They're good people?
Well, certainly I think that that was not a very good act. That was not a nice act. That was not a compassionate act.
But it's being repeatedly
it was
done.
a very ethnocentric act.
It's being repeatedly done. So
Christians repeatedly harm Muslims also.
every religion in the name of religion kills.
That's exactly the point I'm making. Okay.
We're not condemning any religious beliefs right here. Every religion has done that, but the specific extremists, they're killing Christians.
So who's paying him? Where does
Who's
he get
paying?
his paycheck?
By Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey.
Is that what he said? Or is
No,
that
he
what
didn't.
you assume?
That's not what he said.
Has anyone asked
That's-
him? Where does he get his paycheck?
Who is exactly who?
Has anyone asked this man who's getting an
Who's the
award?
man? Which one are you
Well, he's
talking
talking about
about?
the filmmaker.
I don't know.
Where is he getting
CIA,
his paycheck?
probably. Because
We
he's
don't
back
know.
in the United
we don't
States.
know. We don't have proof of where
Has
he is.
anyone asked him?
No.
I think I'll go ask him.
You could ask him.
I think I'm going to go ask him.
Okay.
Because I just came out of there, and I'm going back in there for the award ceremony
Okay.
and the reception. And I think I'll ask him that question.
And you think he's going to answer
Who
you?
signs his paychecks?
And you think he's going to
I want
answer
to
you?
know. Curious minds.
If you
are
get
often
that,
wrong.
I'd like to know.
You know he doesn't have to answer, just that the question is posed.
Right.
It makes people think, who's really behind it? You know, so often we see the image. We see sometimes
if you
even the
ask me,
intentions.
if you ask me, he may not have somebody signing a paycheck for him. He may be doing this because he believes it's the right thing to do.
He's an American and
He's an
he's a
American.
mercenary. I mean, not too many of them are doing it because they believe
You
it's
never know. You never. He's an extremist. He was making movies, motorcycle adventure movies. This was just another adventure for him. And this is another movie, another sensational movie. That's what I see. If you go to his website, it's all written in there. It all talks about that. So he thinks maybe, just possibly, if we want to take the good side and say, he's just a guy out to have an adventure to make a good movie so he can sell it, and he's hoping he'll get a paycheck. He talks about fundraising and how he's failed at the original fundraising. That's why it took so long for this movie to get made. Otherwise, it would have been like a year ago, apparently.
And the statement that you say that he made is exactly what? That he
He
doesn't
said
care?
something- He said he doesn't care which direction they're shooting in, as long as they're shooting towards the Assad regime. And he said, what did he say? I had also asked, what do you think about foreign fighters being there? He said, if anybody is that passionate, I have it on video, I'm going to be posting it. So if anybody is that passionate about being there to do that, they should be allowed to. But the people out here from Syria, the Syrian citizens, we're saying we want all the foreigners out of there. Let our Syrian free Syrian army be us, because there's too many outside influence. They even admit to it. I have it all on video.
Yeah.
That one I just posted.
But they were really very naive. They were
They were very
praising him.
naive. They were praising him, and then I asked them, it's on video, I
Yeah.
said, did you read his biography? He said, no, we just saw a little encyclopedia blurb about him. And they were out here supporting him, not knowing who they were supporting.
I know they were supporting,
But
praising
see, that's a
him.
perfect example. That's a perfect
naivety.
example of misinformation,
Yes.
how we jump to conclusions, how we can form even strong opinions based on incorrect data, misunderstandings, you know, absence of data.
Well, they're not here today after hearing it because they were inside. They heard him talk, and I specifically asked that question because I knew their answer, and I kind of had an idea what his answer was going to be. And sure enough, it was what I was expecting. And they heard that. They're not here today to support him.
Well, I'm looking forward to the awards ceremony now.
Yeah.
I hope they do have
I would
another
like to
answer
add something.
question.
And
We have very well communication with FSA
I don't know if I
also.
gave you this, but there's my card. It's going to be, the videos will be on the website.
We have very well communication with FSA. We're not condemning them. People with freedom, they have the right to have freedom for democracy. But this is not freedom. Sending people from outside and throwing churches out where we lived together all those years with no harm, that's not democracy.
Well,
There's
the
some
same
other
thing,
thing behind
if you
it.
just look at recent history, the same exact thing happened in Lebanon. They worked together wonderfully
Right.
well, went to school side by side, got
Right.
along fantastically. All of a sudden, out of clear blue sky, there's all these civil wars. They themselves ask, how did this happen? But one has to always think about who benefits. Always one has to think about who benefits. I remember when Prince Bandar, he used to be the ambassador to Saudi Arabia, he made a simple comment. I believe he lost his job because of that comment. He asked, after 9/11, who benefited? Think about it. Who benefited?
Yeah.
Think about it. After that, he was no longer the ambassador of Saudi Arabia. He dared to ask the unaskable question. And I think that's a question we always have to ask in every confrontation, in every civil war, in every genocide, in every undeclared war like Afghanistan, Iraq. Why do these things happen? Who benefited? And then maybe we can come a little closer to the truth, or one of the truths. Whoever really knows for sure what the total truth is, huh? Good luck with your project.
Thank you so much. Enjoy let us know. You can email me to let us know the answer.
I will.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.